hesitate. Into cycling, Melbourne crit scene, welcome to the team. Cycling complex, living out the dream. Pushing through hills, sharp turns extreme. Fast wheels flow, hear the tires scream.
Alrighty, we are back racing, and this is the second round of the Toughen Up series held by the Eastern Cycling Club, and this was held out at Broadford Motorcycle Complex. And I was pretty excited about this stage because I've ridden my motorbike on this course and it's a fun course. What I didn't realise is that there are quite a few little bumps, let's call them, and you don't really notice them on a motorbike, but damn, you do notice them when on a pushy. This was like a bloody 40-minute or 50-minute, whatever it was, interval session. It was the worst race for me that I've done in a long time. It freaking hurt. Luckily, it was only a small pack. I was talking to one of the A-graders before the race, and he was complaining that a few of the A-graders, including myself and a few other guys you see here, dropped back to B grade, and he's saying, oh, there's going to be no one in A grade, everyone's in B grade. But on this occasion, there were actually more people in A grade than B. I think we had 8 starters in this race, and by the time we finished this first lap, there was only 5 of us, and yeah, it was just a slog between the 5 of us. Yeah, it's really hard race. If you have a look, I should have actually kept the profile on there. I forgot to leave it on there. But what I will show later is I'll show the profile from my Garmin and also the power. Like literally, it was an interval session. There wasn't a lot of action because I think during the race, this little group, I mean, there's still a couple of riders here that do disappear soon. Like I say, there was a group of 5 of us. And to be honest, I think there was not a lot of action throughout the whole race because everyone just wanted to survive. No one tried to break away or anything. We were really just trying to work out who was going to last till the end. How many intervals can you do and still sprint at the end? That's what it was really about. Yeah, so what I might do is I'll bring up some data from the race just to give you guys an example. Like I say, there wasn't a lot of action throughout the race, so we'll talk a little bit about the course itself, and again, like I say, have a look at some data, and then I might just bring it up to the finish and let you know how things panned out. So yeah, I was hoping to get some points here because it was the second round. I managed to get some points on the first round. Now there was an opportunity here to get points because basically what they did, they ran the race for supposed to be 40 minutes. This one was a little bit longer, so it's supposed to be 40 minutes clockwise, and then you have a small break, and then 40 minutes anti-clockwise. Clockwise was a little bit harder, like the little climbs that we went over was steeper and harder, and there were more of them. Going anti-clockwise, it was still hard, but not as hard. But I can tell you, by the end of this race, I was ready to go home. I didn't even want to do the second round, and it was pretty tough. Anyway, let's have a look at some data and have a bit more of a chat about the course. Okay, so I've got some stats there on the screen. So the race lasted for where's the time? It was about 50 minutes. Well, you can see there, total seated time, 47 minutes. So, yeah, it was roughly that long. So, average power was 213. Max power, 912. I didn't contest a sprint, so that was... actually, you'll see what that was later. The average 20-minute power was 226. Now, when you consider there was no time when we were actually like climbing or anything like that, that gives you an indication that there must have been a lot of spikes to have 226 average 20-minute power. Normalized power for the whole race was 260. Intensity factor just over 1, so making it a pretty tough race. TSS of 91.2 in under an hour is pretty much up there. Yeah, so pretty tough little race. Now we'll also I'll bring up some the graph from like the power graph that will give you an indication how, like I did say, it was like an interval session. When you see this, you'll actually see what I mean. So I'll just bring that up now, and as you can see, hang on a sec, sorry. Yeah, you'll see there, that's basically the whole the spikes throughout the whole race. So there was never any time where you were just holding consistent power. If you were either going up a hill or down a hill, and when you were going up reasonably hard. And yeah, you can see there, I've highlighted one particular climb that was 666 watts, the number of the beast, and it definitely felt like a beast. But that's not the whole race. That's only like just over 25 minutes. But you can see that's all it was for the whole race. So it definitely made it tough. Yeah, and that's why I guess there was only, 5 of us at the end to contest the sprint. So anyway, let's move forward a little bit more and let's have a look at the finish. Like I say, there wasn't much really to look at for the whole race. So let's have a look at that and we'll go from there. Okay, so we've just come into the last lap and I've got AJ there in front of me, who's someone that could do well here. The other guy here, number 31, I think his name was Simon. I don't remember his surname. He only races with us every now and then. He wasn't at the first round. Apparently a pretty good sprinter. I didn't know that at the time, so I wasn't overly concerned about him. The guys I was sort of watching were AJ and Chris Leckie, which you'll soon see come up and come up to the front shortly. So I wasn't feeling great. I think I think everyone probably wasn't feeling great just because of the nature of the course with all those little spikes you saw there. That was the first climb. It hit about 12%, and then you get a little bit of time to recover, and then it sort of goes up again here. I think everyone's trying to save themselves here for the sprint. So I was trying to just stay in those first few wheels. I wasn't sure what I was going to do. I actually didn't really feel like a full-on sprint. So at this point I'm thinking, should I try and get away on those last few corners? Because I was pretty quick through the corners, having ridden this on a motorbike. You sort of know the best lines to take, and it feels a lot slower on a pushy. So I thought I might be able to go hard into those last corners and get a gap. So that's sort of my thought process at this point. There's a slight incline there, 2 or 3%, but then soon we're going to come up and do a right-hander, and then it dips down again. So peaks up here a little bit. There's Chris. Levels out. So we're almost at the end. So there's this section here, and then here's where I thought, let's just go for it. Try and get away. I should be able to get around this corner pretty quickly. But as soon as it went up again, you see there it hits 8% for a second, I just thought, nah, I don't have it. The legs aren't firing. Just wasn't feeling it at all. And as we come around this corner, I've pretty much just given up. I just thought, nah, it's not going to happen on this one, and just let them go. Didn't even bother trying to stay with them. Just thought, nah, just not feeling it. Heart rate went through the roof, and yeah, I was, to be honest, I actually wasn't, like I said earlier, I wasn't going to do the next round, and it was only when I got back to the pits that I mentioned that to Chris, and he said, He goes, just do it, because he said last time, well, one of the times that he'd done it, he felt the same and then actually did really well in the second round. So I thought, look, I've come here, I guess, let's just get it done. So I did end up doing the second round, and that video will follow shortly. Anyway, that was it. That was won by, pretty sure it was that guy Simon, who's the decent sprinter. I think it was Chris next, and then Craig Stannard with third. So yeah, not a bad race. Anyway, catch you in the next video, guys. Thanks for sticking through and watching it.